Okay, welcome to Local SEO Crusher. My name is Mark DeLeese, and we're going to be doing a webinar with Carl Vanderpoel on local SEO. And I just want to give a little bit of an introduction. Carl, you're living in Australia, and you've been there pretty much your whole life, right?
That's right.
And you're living on the sunny side. Whereabouts in Australia?
It's called the Sunshine Coast. It's about an hour north of Brisbane, which is in Queensland.
Awesome. And we're just chatting beforehand. I guess you're taking up ice skating, you said?
Yeah, well, I've been skating for a while now, and when I was back in Sydney, because I moved up several months ago, and about 10 years ago, the rink that I was going to, because I was actually doing inline skating, so doing a lot of speed skating, then the rink closed down, and I thought, okay, I've got to keep up the skating, so I decided to take up ice skating. And pretty much been doing it like the last maybe 18 months, 2 years.
Oh, very cool, very cool. Most people in Canada grow up ice skating, so it's kind of unusual for us to hear somebody that's 40 just learning how to ice skate. But that's
I've been skating for quite some time. I started speed skating when I was about back in maybe just about 93. I think I started.
Oh, I see.
But I was skating as a kid. I did like skateboarding and pretty much everything under the sun when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
And then I decided to, because I actually won a pair of rollerblades like years ago in some sort of competition. I thought, okay, well, I may as well go give it a try, and then pretty much, and I haven't put it down since. So that was about 93. I took up speed skating.
Yeah. Well, I thought being from Australia that here in Canada we'd be on the ice rinks, but I thought down there where you guys would be in the creeks wrestling alligators and stuff like that,
The interesting thing now is where I've just moved to is probably about 20 minutes down the road from the Australia Zoo, so it's not too far from all the Irwins.
Oh yeah, right. Very good.
He's only 20 minutes down the road now, so it's, I actually went down there, took some because we had a few students stay with us from Switzerland,
yeah.
And we took them down there for a bit of a look-see. It's actually quite good.
Very good. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick introduction to you, and just bring out your personality and say, hey, this is a real live person, that drinks and burps just like everybody else here.
That's right.
And again,
maybe not as much as Mark though.
Not as much as me, eh? But thank you. We're going to give a presentation here, and so if there's any questions, Carl is also able to look at the questions, and if there's something there that he's not, Carl, do you mind if I cut you off once in a while if I see something that I may want to ask?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Okay, go ahead and take over there, and thank you for doing this.
Alrighty. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you all coming on the call tonight. We have got a bit of a fair bit of information to cover tonight. I just want to show you some of the things that I've been doing. As I said, some of you may know me, some of you may not know me, but I've been pretty much online since 1996, and since then I've learned a heck of a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of things, and what I've actually found at the moment is the more I sort of look at some of the other products online, there's a big cringe factor, and I can smell the BS sort of 10 miles away. No doubt Mark can too. And so what I wanted to present to you guys through my product is pretty much like 15 years worth of knowledge, and 10 of those have been in my own business, just to help you understand what the potential is out there, and how you too can, as we talk about, is crush it inside local SEO. So I just want to cover a few things here. Just want to give you a little bit more about my background, because a lot of you pretty much may not know me, because, as I said, even though I've been online for 15 years and trading online, it's pretty much, I've been still under the underground and still kind of like it that way sometimes. So I'm going to cover a bit of my background just so you can get to know me as a person. And as I can see on a number of people on the actual call tonight, there's a couple of guys just up the road. I just want to say hi. A couple of guys in Gold Coast and Melbourne, and there's probably no doubt some guys from Sydney and a few other places as well. So Yeah, so what I'm going to, as I said, what I'm going to be covering tonight is why maybe you should get involved in local SEO. Now we're also going to have a brief look at what the trends are actually saying in regards to local SEO and mobile marketing and a few other things, just so you can see what's going to be happening, what the trend has been over the last, say, 4, 5, even 6 years. Okay, I just want to show you, and then I'll go into some numbers and crunch some numbers. Now these are just small little numbers, like a few $100 million a year, or actually a month, sorry, just so you can see the potential of what this could be for you and your business. Then what I'll do lastly is obviously we're going to break it down, break the actual course down.
Carl, is there any way that you can change that to like a full screen on each slide?
That is full screen.
Is it?
Oh, sorry. Which screen are you? Oh, sorry. Showing the wrong screen. Here we go. How's that?
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. It was just obviously showing on the wrong screen. Okay. Rightio. So just give you a little bit of brief background on who I am. As I just stated before, I actually started online in 1996, and I actually started like pretty much web design as a bit of a joke. Like I received a magazine from my boss at the time, and he basically said, have a read through that, and there might be some stuff in there. And I was flicking through the pages of this tech magazine, and he said, I looked at this thing, it says, how to build your own website. And I'm like, what the heck is a website? And so it pretty much said, look, this company, because it was a global company, and they had like locations pretty much all over the world, and they pretty much said, look, I think you need to go learn this. And I said, okay, fine. And then so my new position got created as like web guy. And so from there I started creating stuff in a text pad. Now, if any of you guys know how easy it is to do today, back then it wasn't so easy. Like, for example, I had, there was no such thing as a WYSIWYG editor. There was no such thing as WordPress. It was like TextPad. You save it as a HTML file, and that was pretty much it. So you had to learn how to code from scratch. So which obviously benefited me years later when I started understanding all things about the elements. So, as I said, my actually boss came to me and goes, look, I think this internet might be here to stay. I mean, you're talking 1996 when like the only people on your line was like, MSN and Yahoo, and that was pretty much about it. And the whole thing in regards to like a Photoshop tutorial, because I actually taught myself Photoshop, there was no such thing as like, I think there was maybe 1 or 2 tutorials online, and that was about it. And it took half an hour to view the actual image online. So yeah, it was quite an adventure. So that's pretty much, I guess, my sort of humble beginnings. Started online there, and then what happened was around about 2000, I actually started getting people approaching me and saying, "Hey, I heard you do websites. Can you do one for me?" And that's pretty much where my business started, because I actually started getting more work outside of my current workplace than I was at the current workplace. So I thought, okay, like I'm working so many hours, I may as well sort of start my own business. And pretty much my whole family is quite entrepreneurial, so it was just like they gave me the thumbs up and they said, yeah, go for it. I spoke to a few friends at the same time and said, hey, look, here's what I'm looking to do, and they were giving the thumbs up, so I thought, okay, why not just start my own business? So in 2000, I embarked on my little adventure, and it's been pretty much going ever since. So since 2000, it's been about just over 11 and a bit years. So this is my 12th year in my own business, so which is pretty exciting. So I've seen some ups and downs, because literally when you get involved just before the internet bubble burst in like the .com crash, yeah, it was obviously got a bit tough around that time. But my business was just starting to thrive at the time. It did drop off, and obviously I'm going, okay, do I still stay in business, or do I sort of give up? So I stuck it out. and sort of think, okay, I've got to find some ways in order to get some customers to come in. So, and that's pretty much what I did. So over the last pretty much 10 to sort of 15 years, I've actually helped over probably about 100 startups. Now, when I talk startup, I'm actually talking about from absolutely nothing, from raw conception to idea. Like, I'll get friends come to me and go, hey, I've got this idea for a website, or I've got this idea for this, and I want to get something out there. What do you think? Then I'll sit down with them and literally start to map out a few things. And then we do obviously some keyword research and finding out, yeah, it's not really worth it, or hey, go for it, and here's a few little extra little tips and whatnot. So that's only the guys that I've helped start up. Then on top of that, I've actually had customers come to me with existing businesses. So there's probably been another 100 or so there as well. So I have had a lot of experience both on the raw startup and as well as the current existing websites as well, and current existing businesses. Now, I do have clients in various different niches, ranging from fishing, wedding photography, hair salons. It's quite interesting. Like, some of the guys that come to me with these business ideas, like one of them, I think we put on the front page, was waterless urinals. And I'm sitting there going, oh my goodness, does anybody even search for those things? But apparently they do. So no doubt. And then he's actually now got quite a bit of business coming to his site now as a result of that. So as I said, I get some really curly ones that come across my path in the years that I've been online. So yeah, so it has been certainly an interesting journey. So now what now what I want to do is probably ask you the question, why would you get involved in local SEO? One of the main things that I've actually found with my experience, because I've tried to rank for pretty hard keyword terms over the years, and I tell you what, this is literally a walk in the park compared to, as I said, going after one of the keyword terms I went after was home-based business. I sort of started as a bit of a hobby, and I started getting some good rankings, and I thought, man, okay, there may be some stuff in that. So compared to something like that, it took me probably about 8 to 12 months to really sort of get humming along. But it's been sitting at number 3 for quite a few months now. But in regards to local SEO, it's so much easier and it's so much faster to get rankings. Like, you can literally put up some stuff, and then depending on what niche it's in, you can be getting rankings within 2 to 3 days. The other thing as well is getting a massive return on investment that you can actually tap into right now. For example, I was talking to one of my buddies. He's in Japan, and I've also talked to other friends as well. And particularly when a lot of the internet marketers out there are talking, oh, I just charged a guy $250 to install WordPress and set up a theme and a few other things. Well, in regards to local SEO, there's actually, if you want to call it, there's a lot more bucks in the pot, so to speak. And so, but what you can do with that, because you're going to be helping their business, you can actually charge a lot more for those certain things as well. And as I said before, start making money now. You could literally take what we've pretty much given you. For example, in the ranking and authority video that we did to start with, you could literally take that, get a few videos ranked, go to a customer and say, hey, I've got some videos on page 1 or up there, and say, hey, would you like to rent them from me? So there's one little nice little tip for you that, as I said, you can start making money now. So once you get in the course and see one of my keyword methods, you'll be able to find keywords literally within about 5 minutes that are potentials to then go target. Now, even though local SEO has been around for quite some time, I've pretty much been doing it for pretty much since the beginning, I guess, and obviously ranking sites, it is still on the ground floor. But the interesting thing is, it's actually fast gathering momentum very quickly, because just in this last week alone, I received probably about 15 emails from different people going, local SEO, local SEO, local SEO, and I'm sitting there going like, oh my goodness, like, wow, it's just now it's really starting to come into flourish. Obviously, if all the internet marketers are now starting to promote it, then obviously it's going to start growing fairly quickly. Now I just want to quickly show you something here, just on some trends. So I went to Google Insights and typed in 3 terms. Now these terms are only related to us and us as an industry. So if somebody typed in video marketing, mobile marketing, or local marketing, let's look at some of those trends. Now if you look over here, you can see mobile marketing is quite huge at the moment. And look at this, it's been quite large since about 2004. But obviously it's still under the radar a lot, in particular some of the tactics that we're going to be taking you through on the course. But also look at this, the blue line, video marketing, look at this. It's obviously, and it's had its dips over the time, but it's been consistent. Whereas if I did a search for, like I did a search for article marketing, I think video marketing and PPC or pay-per-click, and I noticed that from 2004 it was up quite high, but the trend was actually sort of slowly going down, and about maybe, I think it was maybe at the start of this year, it pretty much went below video marketing. So as I said, I'm not saying it's like going out, but it's certainly on the decline. Now I'm just going to show you some quick numbers here, just so you can start to understand maybe the potential. Now don't forget, I'm only searching for the term mobile marketing, video marketing, and local marketing. I haven't targeted, like I haven't pulled up words like, wedding photographer in X suburb. This is just like for us as marketers, so you can tell how much money is being spent, and obviously people are trying to market to your end customers or potential end customers. Let's look at some numbers here. So what I did was I typed in these 3 phrases, and it's obviously getting, per month, it's obviously getting a few 100,000 searches per month. But look at this, average cost per click, $6, $5, and $7.22 for local marketing. That just goes to show you it's now starting on the incline, because a lot of people are starting to put some, invest some serious money in there. So if you add up these here times, I think I did the average, what it says down here, there's more than, like with all the derivatives of mobile marketing and video marketing and local marketing, I counted roughly over 147 million searches per month for all the derivative keywords as well. Then what I did was I said only show me the searches that get over $5 a click, and there was 19 million searches, or 19.5 million searches, with an average of $7.11 click-through. Okay, that over, as I said, that's based on searches over a $5 cost per click. So as you can see, the market potential, so the monthly searches times the average cost per click, there's approximately $139 million a month being spent just on these 3 words alone, which just pretty much goes to show you the potential of the kind of market we're sort of tapping into now. And as I said, we're on the ground floor. What I want to do now is just cover some elements that are actually inside the actual course, so you can get to start to understand what's available here. So what I want to do is, once you come into the course, you'll be able to see the way I do keyword research. Now, one of the things I've found in a lot of SEO courses, even 3 or 4 that just came out within the last couple of weeks, is that the keyword research is very shallow. And so I've found that I'm going like, you're left wanting and go like, how can I, what do I be looking for? I'm not too sure. And it's just like, you want, like, I mean, if I'm wanting more as an SEO type person, then I can only imagine what somebody like you guys are wanting, who maybe have no experience inside keyword research or SEO. So what I typically do is I show you the Google keyword tool, which is a manual way. Okay, so I show you a quick and easy way. So if you don't have any software, as I said, we don't want to put the barrier up so high to say that you have to buy this expensive software in order to get into local SEO. I show you ways in Google Keyword Tool, which is free, that you could, as I said, like eyeball some potential niches to go after and go for it. But then on the opposite side, I'll then show you a software way of doing it. And I typically use Market Samurai and a few other softwares. But then what I do then is I actually do a hybrid method, so I can drill down on like 100 sub-niches within a main niche in literally within about 30 seconds or so. And I'll show you how to combine them all together. Another thing you need to understand as well is the intent for local searchers. So when they're typing in something, then you have to know what the intent is. Because a lot of us marketers know that there's 3 phases to a person buying something. The first phase is what we call research phase, where they type in things like, what is local SEO? That's the kind of keywords that they're looking for. I'll give you the example of a camera. Like a digital camera. So say, for example, somebody's looking for digital camera. I know if they just type in the term digital camera, I know that they either haven't done their research or they haven't sort of gone into depth of what a digital camera is. So that's a keyword I wouldn't target right away. And the next phase they move into, once they do a bit of research, they actually find they go into comparison mode. And so they go like things like the keywords like Canon EOS 5D versus Nikon D7000, for example's sake. So then they go into comparison mode, and that's I would explain that as they're getting so much closer to the actual buy now sort of keywords. Then the next phase they go into is obviously the buying phase, and they type in keywords like, or they preface it by cheap, discount, or best price on. Those what we call qualifiers in order to then go, hey, this person's rocked and ready to buy. So in the local SEO market, there's certain types of keywords and qualifiers that tell them, hey, I'm ready to employ the services of a local business. Now, one of the things that probably separates this course from 99.99% of other courses out there is the process maps. Now, what I've found in pretty much all the courses that I've ever come across, obviously except for Mark's, of course, but what I've found is lacking is what they call it a step-by-step, but when you go into it, it's just like, man, that's just like psychopathic in some ways because it's all over the place. And I'm going like, I'm technical and I'm very savvy in the SEO realm, but I'm finding your course like all over the place. So what I've tried to do is put into practice process maps. So what I did the other day, just to test whether my process maps are any good, is I handed it to a good friend, one of them in particular, the one that you saw the other day on the second pre-launch video, which was the Amazon S3 setup and how to set up buckets and all that sort of thing. So all I did was no video training, no explanation whatsoever. I handed it to a friend. He handed it onto his virtual assistant, and she set the whole thing up without asking any questions. And I got my friend came back and said, hey, my virtual assistant set the whole thing up without literally asking any questions. So what the process map does is remove any guesswork and remove a lot of waste and spinning wheels. Does everybody understand? Mike, do you understand what the word spinning wheels means?
Yep, I know what spinning wheels means, yep.
Okay, good. Yeah, so in other words, you're not left sitting on one spot trying to figure stuff out. Because what I've done over the years as well is look and understand what's that word? Anyway, I'll get back to that. So in regards, okay, I'm just seeing some questions here as well. What is a process map? Okay, what you do when you come into the course, you'll actually see some process maps. And what I'm going to show you, what I might quickly do, Mark, is just quickly show them what a process map looks like, just so they can understand what the difference is. Because there's a lot of people asking what's the difference between a mind map and a process map. So I'll just quickly pull one up. Okay. If you were on the if you're on the pre-launch list, you would have seen the process map just down below the video. Okay, just give me a second while I open up this one. Okay, the difference between a mind map and a process map. A mind map typically is a central idea, and it branches out from there. Like you might have, for example, an idea generator, and you say, okay, this little aspect over here, I want to come up with this sub-idea. Then it's, this sub-idea, and you keep on expanding out, and it's just basically to dump a whole bunch of ideas. That's what I typically use a mind map for. But here we go. This is the difference between that and the process map. A process map is literally what you have to do first, second, third, fourth, and so on down the line. So what you do is start here. Okay, it says the Amazon AWS setup. It shows you what some of the icons are, and obviously it's the Amazon AWS S3 or CloudFront optimization. So you're coming through here, and it starts with Amazon account. So it tells you this icon here is what we call a task. And as we see here, this particular one is in some sort of action. Go to AmazonAWS.com. Do you have an account? No? We'll go create one. If yes, then continue to the next one. Do you have the Amazon Bucket plugin for Firefox? No? Go to Visit Firefox Plugins, download the S3 Organizer, and then come back into the queue. And then if you do have it, log in, create your bucket, then move to the next step in the process. So what you're doing is you're going from top to bottom, and then obviously reading what's at the bottom down here. It says hosting account. So you go up to the top, and you literally just go straight down again. And it says, okay, once you get down to the bottom there, it says upload file. And you keep continuing on until you get to the end one. It says embed video. Once you've embedded video, you paste it, and you finish. Now, what I've found is a lot of people, when they're teaching a course, will start here, which is all good. But the problem is, well, there's actually quite a few problems on a usability point of view, is they never have a end point. It's like, when do I know I've finished that particular task? And if you're talking to any outsourcers, they're very task-driven. So if you give them this, they can finally get to the bottom and say, sir, madam, I've actually completed this task, and you know that what that entails by the actual process map. And the other thing too is what I found on a lot of courses is they'll get to here and it's all good, and they'll get to the next one and they go, oh, what do I do now? I'm finding it really hard to follow along, and then they'll go, oh, do this step over here. And it's just like, is the file created when they haven't even set up the actual bucket yet? So what I'm trying to do here is remove waste or wasted time and wasted effort trying to figure out what is my next step. So hopefully that explains it a little bit so you can follow along. Now, we've also noticed as well that within process maps there are a dime a dozen out there, and it's like a lot of them are put out by well-known internet marketers. But the problem is the way the eyes tend to function is top to bottom and then left to right. But a lot of guys do a Z fashion, and I find that like so confusing, and I get totally lost. Whereas this, actually, as I said, we gave one of these for like a Facebook task to do, and we handed it to a Facebook person, and they looked at it within 3 seconds. They said, oh, you've missed a step. So that just goes to show how powerful and quick it is to literally just glaze over it to find if there's any missing steps. So hopefully that clears up some stuff between what the difference is of a mind map and a process map. Okay, in session 2, what I'm going to do is you're going to literally look over my shoulder as I pull apart a particular website, and what to look for and even what to include if you are choosing to do the website design side of things is what to include in a local SEO type or local website for a local business. So one of the things I cover is a lot of the optimized elements for actually not only for better conversions, but it's also to get your to capture leads and a whole bunch of other action taking that your client wants as well. Another thing I'll be covering is essential plugins for local SEO. Now, some of you do know that I've actually got pretty much most of Mark's products, and I use them on a daily basis. And without them, I wouldn't be able to get half the ranks that I would be able to get without his plugins. So one of them in particular that I've been really sort of pressing hard on is the Google Video Sitemap, which we'll obviously cover in the course. So with that, I've actually managed to get quite a number of clients some really good rankings within the search engines for using all of his products. Now, one of the things is as well, which we'll probably cover in the course, is how to get dual listings on the actual search engine. Because a lot of people have been asking me about that as well. So I'll probably cover that maybe as a bit of a bonus as well. The other thing I'm going to be covering is the correct way, or just maybe some extra ways that you haven't thought of to geo-target for actual optimum results. Because there's a lot of courses out there telling you how to do local SEO and how to do the title tags and meta description and a whole bunch of other things. But there's several things that they often miss that are crucial and that have actually helped me to get faster rankings as well. Now, literally what you're getting is you're getting inside my head to see what I'm actually looking at. So what I'm going to do is a few bonus extra videos to literally take either somebody's website, and I'm going to literally pull it apart if they don't mind me doing it. I'm going to pull the whole thing apart and what you can look for and what you could, I guess, pretty much tap into and see inside my head and look over my shoulder as I pull the whole thing apart and what I look for. The other thing as well is you can use this as a tactic if you're going to go see clients. So say, for example, you're targeting a local plumber, electrician, dentist, doctor, whoever, and you want to go in there with a bit of arsenal. So what you do is you look at their website and you pull apart all the elements and send them some sort of report. Say, hey, doctor, I've just looked at your website and I found some interesting things that you may be missing a lot of business on. Can we have a chat? And then when you come in and have a chat, you can literally send him the report, or you can send it beforehand and say, hey, we need to chat because you're missing a number of different elements that are crucial to growing your business online. And then that pretty much gives you the foot in order to go sell your local SEO services. As I just said, we're going to do some case studies. So either I'll pull apart one of my sites, or I'll pull apart one of your guys, and we'll just pull that whole thing apart, and you can literally see what I'm looking for in regards to getting things local. Okay, one of the things I'll be covering is the local SEO breakdown. Now, once again, I've created a process map, which you'll see in a second at the bottom there. It's a sales process from literally from start to finish. Like on, for example, like doing the keyword research, then the next thing you need to do is obviously assess the client needs, which we'll cover down here. Whether the site is mobile or smartphone or tablet capable. These are a number of questions that you can be pretty much pitching to your potential customers to find out, hey, they haven't optimized their site for mobile, they haven't optimized their site for video. So what you're looking for is a way in, and one of those ways is obviously through local SEO. Another little thing that I created some time ago is a website pricing module. Now all this is an Excel spreadsheet that I've given you, freely given you inside the download section, and it's pretty much got all the products and services that, or some of the products and services that I offer. Now all I do in that is pretty much set up a pricing structure, And then all I do is pop some details in there, like do they want this, and I put the check mark in or a cross, and that then calculates the price. Now I've given it to you in its raw form, so you can actually go in, and if you're not comfortable with the prices that are in there, you can go edit the thing and pretty much do whatever you want. It's a bit of a free gift from me. So all that does is help you price up something so you can give to your customer rather than sort of going back to the office and writing up a quote and that sort of thing. You can just literally print out an Excel, like the Excel spreadsheet with the numbers crunched on there so that they know how much they're going to be up for or willing to invest in that next phase. Obviously, we're going to be covering some stuff on Google Places. Now, it is a lot different from Australia to the US, so I'll try and cover as much as I can in regards to the Google Places listing, because in Australia it's way less competitive than the US. So if you guys, some of you guys in the US even want to target Australian businesses, hey, go for it. That's the interesting thing about local at the moment. I mean, I don't look at it as like how much money's in the pie. I just look at it's pretty much like it's not really a pie. It's not closed. It's actually quite long, and so there's a lot of income to be generated from local SEO. So I'm saying, guys, hey, there's a lot of businesses in Australia that are even easier picking than the US, and I'm no doubt there's probably some stuff in the UK that's probably and New Zealand and pretty much any other country that's a lot less competitive than the US. So if you're looking to branch out in some particular way, then hey, no doubt come across here or go across to New Zealand or the UK. I'll show you how to optimize like a pro, and also some little ninja techniques for actually getting better results. Because if you can imagine, lots of stuff now. If you like, the other day I downloaded an app on my iPhone and iPad, and I couldn't use it until I hooked up the to tell it where I was. So when you're taking photos on an iPhone, it says, can we use your location? So even photos now are being geo-targeted. So just as I said, I've just given you a little bit of a tip there, just to give you some and a bit of a heads up as well. Once again, I'm going to give you my process map for pretty much setting up Google Places and how to optimize it there as well. Once again, you're removing a lot of the waste, a lot of the guesswork, so that you can go, okay, I can follow that. Or even if you don't want to do it at all and you hire a virtual assistant or some outsourcing person, you just basically hand the process map to them and say, hey, here's what I want you to do. And that also removes them doing shonky or dodgy work in regards to your local SEO and getting rankings. Now, one of my favorite subjects is obviously video marketing. Now, I've been doing, funny enough, video marketing. I sort of stumbled across it because we had a project that we're doing here locally, and we uploaded some videos to YouTube, I think maybe about 6 months after they opened. And so I started uploading some stuff there, and then I started getting some clients to upload stuff in there, and I started to realize the true potential of what video could do. And then ever since, I've been telling customers, hey, do video, do video, do video. And so some of them, you'll find that some of the customers won't be quite there, like mentally just yet. But if you can show them the benefits of it, then you can obviously sell this quite easily. As you saw in the pre-launch video, I showed you how to become an instant YouTube authority, because I gave you literally one of my hidden gems on how to find high page rank pages within YouTube itself. So taking that model, now you could take this and not use it for local SEO. You could take it and use it for your own channel. Now, as you probably would have seen on one of the testimonials on the home page that we launched just a few hours ago, one of the guys on there took my advice and pretty much built it from page rank, I think he said 0, to a page rank 7 in about 3 months. So, as I said, I know the thing works, and I've done it for not only myself but also for quite a number of my clients as well. Now, another instance, I took a health practitioner, had her she had some videos up there, been on her channel, been open for quite a few years, and I'm sitting there going like, well, how come you're not getting any traffic from it? And all we did was use a couple of Mark's products. One of them is TubeFull, which is obviously going to be we're going to be talking about a bit later. But all I did was just use that. Within about, I think, 3 weeks, I think we had about maybe 2,500 friends and a whole bunch of likes and a whole bunch of other things that we didn't have before as a result. And so pretty much 3 months later, that page rank of that actual channel went up to a page rank 4. And quite a number of her videos now are now starting to pretty much show up on position 2, 3, and 4, and getting a whole bunch of other ones on there. Now, what I'm also going to show you is how to build for the long term. Now, a lot of guys particularly on Warrior Forum and a few other areas, they go like, and there's a few products that even came out the other week, is build this thing up now and flip the thing off. Yes, you can certainly do that, no doubt. Within a couple of months, you can get some decent rankings and flip those sites off or flip those YouTube channels off. That's totally up to you. But what I'm trying to show you is how to build into your monthly revenue some good sustainable income. Because one of the biggest mistakes that I made for so long was I would like take on these big projects, and yeah, there's some good money in the big projects, but what happened was at the end of it there was nothing at the end, and I'm like, oh, I've got to go out and get another client, so to speak. So what I had to do a number of years ago is look at ideas that keeps the income coming in regardless. And one of those things is local SEO and video SEO, and no doubt some just some normal SEO services and even pay-per-click. So something that you can build into the longevity so that you're getting a regular income coming in rather than sitting there going, like, okay, what am I supposed to be doing now? Now, what I also cover in the course is high authority backlinking strategies. Now, I've sort of given you a lot of it in the actual pre-launch video, but there's actually some other extra bonus little tricks that I show you on how to even do it faster. Now, as I said, I show you a manual way, then I show you the absolute lightning fast way. Like as I said before, in the keyword research, I show you the manual way so you understand what you're doing, and then you can go to the software and crunch the numbers and know what you're actually looking for. The other thing with video marketing, it's quick, easy way to kill it in local SEO. Now, just to give you an example, this was an example outside of local SEO, but you can literally use the same thing. Is I did my keyword research for a client. I found the particular keyword that I want to go after. It was a medium sort of competitive keyword, but there was literally only one video being ranked on the front page. I thought, okay, I want to join that person. So what I did was I uploaded the video through a video distribution site service, and within, I think I timed it, I think it was about just under 6 minutes, I was on the front page with a Google thumbnail, with a video thumbnail on the front page by uploading. It was mainly from YouTube at the time, and I was just amazed that that I could get a ranking so quickly for a medium competitive keyword term using video. And that also helped me understand what the potential of video could do. Now, I did see some stats somewhere as well that a video thumbnail will get anywhere between 18 to 25% more click-through than a text link on a search result. So that just goes to show you the power of a thumbnail in the search results. And once again, I'm going to show you my process map of literally keyword research for video. You can, as I said, the keyword research is a principle, so you can literally apply it to video. You can apply it to your ranking your sites. You can do it for PPC, a whole bunch of other areas. So it's a general way to drill down on a market to find some absolute gold gems. Now, I showed this to a friend the other day. I just want to test to see if my methods work. And he was in a particular pretty tough niche, and what he did was did some drill down and found some keywords that he was absolutely missing but yet were crucial, and only had in the regards to video marketing, we found some keywords for him getting 3,000 to 4,000 searches per month, and there was only 3 competing videos on YouTube. and he's sitting there, and you could just imagine how giddy he was. You're like, wow. So that just goes to show some of the things that we teach in the course do actually work. And as a result, he changed his keywords, and now he's literally ranking on page 1 on the YouTube search. So he's obviously pretty excited. So he's now increased it within, that's probably about 7 to 10 days ago that we did that. And so he's now obviously reaping the benefits of that. Okay, this is pretty much, we're going to hand over to Mark inside the course. He's going to be covering mobile marketing. Now, we're obviously going to be showing you a number of different things on how to get started in mobile marketing. We'll show you, obviously, what's working now, what's not. We'll show you, no doubt, some killer techniques in order to not only get conversions for your customers, but also how to get customers using, basically approaching them using the mobile marketing techniques. Once again, we'll look at organizing to put some process maps together. Once again, we're eliminating the waste and we're eliminating the guesswork as well. One of the other things as well is we want to cover some social marketing. Now, we obviously want to look at doing local SEO for Facebook fan pages. Now, there's some little hidden gems in there. Now, I'm just going to give you this one away for free, so there's a bit of a bonus to you guys for being on the call tonight, is that same method that I use to find high page rank pages on YouTube, guess what you can do for Facebook? Well, you can do exactly the same thing. You can find high page rank business pages that you can basically make some comments on in regards to getting some backlinks, and we'll probably cover all that in the course as well. But it's pretty much, I've never heard this anywhere on how to get backlinks for Facebook fan pages and how to boost the page rank of your Facebook fan page. The other thing we'll be covering, and I think I'm going to be shifting to Mark for that one, is the Google Plus and how to set it up for local business, because that's only just got launched fairly recently. Plus some little techniques for Twitter marketing and a whole bunch more. Okay, session 8, or the module 8, is going to be software that I use on a day-to-day basis. Now, one of the particular ones that I use is a project management system. Now, there are so many out there, and one of the ones that I use is one called Active Collab. And instead of paying a monthly fee, you buy it once off and install it on your server, and you can pretty much run your own project management system from there. It's very similar to Basecamp and all the other sort of project management suites out there. That's not all. I'll be showing you what I use for invoicing, because a lot of you guys may be starting a business for the very first time and just getting your feet wet here. So I'll show you the program that I use, or the service that I use for invoicing. It's very easy to set up. It's a bit of a no-brainer. Some software, as I said, I use on a day-to-day basis for keyword research and drilling down and seeing how competitive the niches are. Some software and services that I use for, particularly for article marketing, in order to distribute my articles out there. Another thing that I use on a daily basis is obviously getting backlinks. Now, I saw in some of the questions there, so I'll cover that now, is just imagine what backlinking is the amount of votes that you have out there for a particular site. So say, for example, like, YouTube.com has lots of backlinks, or what we call votes. Let's just call them votes for this example here. So it's pretty much the more votes you have and the more popular you are out there, obviously the higher you rank in the search engine. So say, for example, I want to rank for a local term of, for example, wedding photographer Sydney. And I notice that the amount of backlinks or votes that they have is, say, 300. So what I have to do is either get 300 or get better quality votes in order to, so that they count for more. So when I showed you that method of getting high page rank pages on YouTube, that is like if, for example, I found a page rank 7, and I explained in the video that a page rank 7 or a page rank 8 could that's the equivalent of getting 1,000 or 2,000 page ranked ones. So the quality and the amount of votes it gives you compared to the lower end ones is just so much more. So even though this person may have 300 backlinks, I might be able to get 20, but they're very, very, very high quality, and I don't need as many then. So hopefully that clears up on a little bit of what the backlinking is. And as I just stated before, the type of project management system I use and how I use it on a daily basis. Once again, I'll give you some process maps on all the things that we're going to be talking about here as well. One of the things, as I said previously, is I'll typically show you a manual way of doing it if you don't have any of the software and you want to get started now without spending pretty much any money, or I'll show you either the automated way or using software so that you can understand both. Now, what a lot of the times I've found in a lot of courses is they explain their method or way of doing things, they just explain the general gist of it, but they never go into detail why they're doing it. They show you how to do it, but they never show you why they're actually doing it. And they say, oh, just get 300 backlinks on this particular site, do this, this, and this. And we're like, okay, so why am I doing that? What's the purpose behind it? So that's hopefully what I'm going to be covering in my explanation, showing you the manual way to show you why you're actually doing it and why you need to drill down, as well as the automated way to make things super quick and easy. So you're not sitting there for the next 8 hours doing one manual process. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, as I said before, this is one of my secret weapons that, as I said, I use on a daily basis, the process map. And as you can see here, this is my video marketing SEO blueprint. Now, I've taken quite a while to put this together, so I'm hopefully covering all the aspects of not only the market research, but also putting a video together if you want a team to do that so that you know where the steps are up to. So say, for example, you outsourced your video creation, if that's if you wanted to do video creation, then you could go in here and you could even tell the customer where the process is up to. So you can keep them very well informed on where the process is up to. Then you'll go through things like uploading it, optimizing it. Then you'll go through things like getting more friends, getting more viewers, subscribers, and whatnot from there. And obviously the last one is how to monetize your videos so that you go, okay, well, how can I actually generate some income from this? So I show you several methods and ways in order to monetize. And then once again, as always, we have an end point. So we know that there is a completion of the task. Then what we're going to do is literally put it all together for you. Now, not only at the end, but I've also put inside a number of the different modules some idea generators. So in one of them, when I'm doing the research, I'm literally telling you some of the most lucrative markets that you could possibly target. For example, they're a lot more competitive, but they can actually be quite lucrative for you as a local SEO expert. So what I typically do throughout the modules is just say I'll drop tips or just say, hey, when you're going through this, here's some of the ideas that I want you to generate so that you can go off and pretty much think for yourself. So what we're trying to do here is teaching you how to fish rather than giving you a fish. Another thing I'll do is putting it all together is what to say to get the sale, how you can upsell, cross-sell, and even get more services. Also, how to follow up, and plus lots more. Okay, so that's pretty much in essence the course. As I said, there's a fair amount of info there. So, Mark, if we want to open it up, maybe some questions, and maybe we can get some of those answered before we sort of end the call tonight. How about that?
Great. Just let me look at the questions here, and thank you, Carl. That was very, very informative. Just trying to figure out where my questions window is. It seems to have disappeared off my desktop here. Let's see.
Yeah, I had to separate it, so it's actually standing alone.
All right, there they are. Great. Let me just open this up a little bit more. Yeah, there's lots of questions there. That's for sure.
Yeah. Just the other thing too, yes, it is being recorded, and yes, there will be a replay.
Yeah. 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 I think that. Oh, I think you've covered most of these questions. What do you think?
I'm just going through them now. Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Thank
How much
you.
of the course is useful for non-local SEO?
Say that again.
How much of the course is useful for non-local SEO?
Actually, quite a number of it, particularly the video marketing. As I said before, I actually teach in. I like to teach in principles, so that you could take this to any sort of niche market. If you want to use it for internet marketing, fine, because the keyword research works exactly the same across any niche, any sort of market, anything like that. So you could take a lot of those things and apply it to that and still get results. As I said, the video results that one of the guys got on the sales page was a guy called Justin. As I said, he's not in the local SEO market, but he applied what I told him, and as I said, he went from a page rank 0 to a page rank 7 in just pretty much about 3 months.
Right.
So as I said, that's pretty much what I'm teaching. So the other way, I just showed, just did some coaching calls over the last 3 days with a number of different clients. One of them is they are a local person, but we literally stumbled across probably about 10 to 20 extra keywords that person wasn't targeting, and they were doing like the whole wedding planning in Italy, in Tuscany. Then there's another person, they have a cooking show, and like we pretty much stumbled across some ideas. And one of the things that I showed both of them, and actually there's been a few others there that I've shown some stuff to, we found some keywords that are getting about 1 to 2, even 3,000 what they call exact searches per month, with literally 3 competing videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's like these guys are like literally got this whole thing wide open to them now, and I show them a strategy on what to do to literally own not only the exact phrase but also get all that traffic. So say for example it was getting 1,000 exact searches a month and there's only 3 competing videos. I showed them a way to basically create a number of different videos, so not only do they rank for that one but also all the derivative terms as well. So when Mark mentioned at the start I ranked for home-based business as a broad sort of term, I actually started optimizing for the lower end keyword terms. And once they started getting a lot of traffic, then I kept on changing the keyword to go for the wider and wider and wider to eventually get to at the top. So what I showed these guys was how to own not only the exact match and get that ranking, but also you'll then start to, as a result, start to tap into the broad match traffic. So the broad match, say for example, I'm doing wedding photographer Sydney. So what happened as a result of some clients is we started to rank for the longer tail keywords, and as a result we started to rank for the keyword term just wedding photographer and wedding photography. So that's what I'm sort of planning to do with you guys inside the course. Now whether you want to use it for local SEO or internet marketing, that is totally up to you. But I'll go into showing you ways on how to do it properly from an SEO point of view, rather than just going being very light-hearted and sort of not covering all the little hidden secrets. So I pretty much hold nothing back.
Right. Great, thanks. Yeah, there's a couple other questions. How do you know how many exact searches are available on YouTube? YouTube has its own search keyword tool. Just do a Google for YouTube keyword tool. Video sitemap is not included as a part of local SEO Crusher. That is a separate plugin that I own and developed. Yes, I do use RSS link bomber on my sites.
Really? Are you sure?
That's right.
Actually, one of the most
Ken, there's no one-time offers. But what I am going to do for people, though, I'm going to. I didn't get a chance to even do it today. I was just that video that I have on the sales page. I just rendered it, so it's not as. It should load a lot quicker now, but it took me forever to render that thing. Tomorrow, I'm going to be sending out an email to customers to purchase any of my products at a discounted rate if they want a TubeFool or Google Video Sitemap and RSS Link Bomber and things like that. I think my TubeFool, for example, I probably have about 3,000 customers of TubeFool, the people that are using TubeFool.
Okay, just while you're on that, Mark, I just want to show the guys something on the call. I'm just going to pull up something quickly here. I just want to show you some sort of results so that these guys can see what we're actually talking about and using. I'm pretty much a big advocate of all Mark's products, but I just want to show you some stuff here. I uploaded the video pretty much a few days ago, so it's already got 1,300 views. Now, as I said, I went after a kind of a bit like very competitive keyword term, and for the term now, I actually ranked, I think, number 3 for the term install JW Player, and obviously a few others in there. But I just want to show you some stuff down here. Here's what we're looking at here. As a result of using a couple of Mark's products, obviously TubeFool being one of them, this is what I've managed to do: 25,820 friends. Right. And I pretty much just leave the software running on my computer, and it pretty much just sits in the background, just plugging away. And as you can see, all the results there. And if you look down the bottom of the page here, at the moment it's a page rank 6, but I reckon within the next, like say, 3 or 4 weeks or so, when the next update is due, I'm presuming, then I'd be pretty much either a 7 or an 8. Because what I did the other day was use some of my own tactics in order to find. I actually found some page rank 8s, and I found a page rank 9, but there was nowhere to comment. So it was like, oh darn, wouldn't have minded that one. So a bit of a high one there, but yeah, I did find quite a few page rank 8s on YouTube as well, which allow comments. So as I said, using the tactic obviously certainly works, getting those high page ranks there.
Right.
And no doubt, like at the moment, I've obviously got just 1,500 subscribers. So yeah, so it's all pretty good.
Thanks. I just want to give people a heads up about what I have in plan. I know Carl talked about what he has planned, but some of the things I'm going to be adding some content myself, in December here to the course. So I'm working on a much bigger project, but I'm going to be adding the content of this much bigger product to the SEO, local SEO product here, and that includes the topics of learning how to view a website from an SEO consultant's viewpoint. An SEO person will look at a website a lot different than the average bear, so to speak. And everything from the broad perspective to right down to the, to the code, right? And the pages. And I guess I'll be going through that, but also another one I'll be giving to you is picking the right SEO tools. Picking the right SEO tools. There's 10 of them, the right SEO tools, and these are all free, by the way. Picking the right free SEO tools. I'll also be talking about finding SEO problems on a website. So you're able to look at a website, and you're able to find the SEO problems of that website. What areas do you want to look at to analyze to see what the problems are? And there's probably about 5 things that I look for right away. I look at right away to try to figure out, what the problems are, and I'll be going through those, and then trying to figure out, if there's a search engine penalties going on, what's the problem here? Why are they getting search engine penalties on certain keywords or pages and things? And then also solving these SEO problems. It's one thing to identify what the problems are, but also fixing popularity problems, fixing relevancy problems, fixing penalties, things like that. And those are just some of the things I'm going to be adding to this local SEO course. Now, for those of you, I want people to, obviously this is a webinar, but I want people to purchase, and I want people to support Carl. Is this your first course, Carl?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so he's been in the underground mode. He's been servicing clients and doing SEO work for people and building websites. I've been developing products for a couple of years now, and I really want to get behind Carl because he really knows his SEO. He really knows how to, he knows all about coding. He knows all about Photoshop. He knows all about SEO, and he's a great personality. And so this is what I'm going to do for everybody that's on this call that buys this product in the next, let's see, it's 10 o'clock here, by midnight. Okay, if you buy this product by midnight tonight, you got 2 hours. I will give to everybody on this call, and also who got it. So Gary, you're included. I'm going to give you. Don't be advertising this out. I don't want to see any Google. I don't want to Google this out there and find out you guys are already talking about it. Okay, but it's almost done, and I'm coming out with a mobile version of the traffic player, and this thing is going to just kick everybody's rear ends. It's so smoking hot. And the traffic player for mobile, and just got a little bit tweaking to go, and I'm going to be putting this out there. I'm going to be selling this thing for $150, and so I will. You'll get first nabs on that. Everybody that gets this, let's say by 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock, let's say by 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, midnight Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, the traffic player. Just if you want to go, Ron says, did you say the traffic player? What is that? If you go to, oh, Ron, I have to show you my traffic player. Let's see.
Actually, quickly, Mark, just while you're doing that, I just want to show a couple of guys here, because they were asking for what did I use to look for the Google Insights. So all that is google.com/insights/search. And all I did was put in my terms here, so video marketing. And then you can actually add different terms here. I'll do that pay-per-click again. And let me just do here. Actually, that's what I did there. And let me just put in article marketing here. Like so. And let's look at let's see what the stats say on that. Look at this. Yellow, the term pay-per-click, look at this. Starts off really high and it starts to go down. Obviously, blue is video marketing, and as I say, it's pretty much overtaken the pay-per-click somewhere in about 2010.
Yeah. Fantastic. Kenny says, what are we buying before midnight? Maybe you should put on that last slide there. Maybe you can bring it up can you bring up the URL on your browser? Bring up local SEO. Type in local SEO.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, in your browser, bring up the website. Yeah.
Okay, so it's localseocrusher.com.
That's it right there. Yeah. So bring up the page here.
Yeah, it's coming.
Okay.
There we go.
There it is there. And I got some happy music on. Yeah. So that's the deal. By midnight Eastern.
Yeah, one of the guys was asking, mate.
What's that?
Sorry, mate, I had to listen to your happy music.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, the price is $147, and you get a lot for that. I've also thrown in a ton of resources in the membership area as well. Downloadable web designing stuff. That's real cool.
Yeah, because one of the guys was asking, is this going to be another $497 course? Obviously not. As I said,
although we wanted to do that though.
Yeah. because the amount of stuff I'm giving away, as I said, has taken me 15 years to accumulate. So it's pretty much, I mean, as I said, I could have gone the whole $4.97, even $9.97. I mean, I've got some like coaching clients around the world that pretty much I've gotten paid as much as like $500 an hour because I solved a number of their different problems. Like, just to give you an example, these guys were doing something like about $20 million a year, and all I did was show them a couple of little techniques, and they made the tweaks which increased their conversions by, like, some obscene amount. But that, for them, like $20 million a year is like, it's all good. But you make one tweak by getting people to spend an extra $10 per sale, and that goes up. You multiply that across that 23 million per, like $10, an extra $10 per sale, and that certainly adds up per day and per month and per week.
Yes. Yeah.
Somebody's asking on there, is the backlinking SENuke X? It can be, but as I said, depending what you're doing and how you're doing it, yes, you can use SENuke X or SENuke, depending which one you have. But yeah, it can include that for getting backlinks. That's one small way of getting it. But in regards to Facebook and YouTube, backlinks are 10 times faster and easier on those two sites than even for even getting backlinks and writing. Now, I mentioned in another webinar that I did recently is, imagine this, Mark, writing an article, and a lot of people know about spinning articles and whatnot.
Yeah.
So the time it takes somebody to write an article or even get one written and write it and spin it and then submit it to, like, just say for example, 10 websites, how many hours would you expect to put into that?
Well, probably.
Probably like half a day?
Probably most of the day, probably, really,
Yeah, most of the day. So 8 hours, just say for example you set aside 8 hours to write an article, get it spun, and then submit it to the particular directory. Say for example you do it all manually. For example, in the course, as I said, I literally gave that away on the pre-launch video. So what you could do is take that, make some comments, because that's literally a backlink on your YouTube, back to your YouTube channel. So you could literally get a virtual assistant to do all your backlinking on YouTube by making comments and subscribing and being friends. Right. So that's how quickly it is. So I showed on another webinar, I did probably about, what was it, about 5 backlinks within a matter of 30 seconds, or maybe, maybe even a minute. So that's how quick it is to do stuff on both Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah. Cool.
Doug's asking how do you do the search for Facebook pages? Doug, if you've seen the pre-launch videos in regards to my Crusher method for video and video marketing, find high page rank pages. In other words, what you need to look for is footprints on the actual page. Like I look for the term friends on YouTube and subscribers, so I'm looking for that. What you need to look for is obviously fans, or like how many likes that person's had. So take that, put that on there, and obviously change the website from YouTube to Facebook.
Yeah. Let's go through all the questions here.
Yeah, so many. How do we get it? Tell them the price, son. What other cost software do you need?
Romero says, just Romero asks, will you be getting the mobile player for free? Yes, if you purchase tonight, you'll be getting the Traffic Player mobile version. It's almost finished right now, so it's just at its last stages of coding, which has been going on for a couple months now.
That's
the
good.
Add to cart button not working. What? Let me.
Come on, Mark. Don't do that to me.
Better be. Is it working? I see orders coming in. I see one is an order. There's another order. It better be working.
Yeah. Another question. I
see orders coming in, so it's working. I see orders are flying in here. So
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Another question here from Joshua. What are the other costs, like software and services, do I need? As I said, I show you a number of different ways, particularly with the keyword research. I show you the paid way, and I also show you the free way. So a lot of the aspects in there is pretty much you can get away with like pretty much not spending anything. But if you want to invest a little bit to make it, all it does is literally speed up your time. And that's pretty much what I mentioned in the presentation, that I'll show you a manual way so you understand what the numbers are doing and saying, so that when you do get the software, you can literally just push the button and know what you're looking for in regards to the numbers and what are you doing.
Yeah.
Another question from Ronald, will there be a replay? Yes. Terry is basically asking, what can you do for someone selling luxury homes in Scottsdale? You'd be surprised that as part of my little bit of a, I was just doing some current research on like the housing market and rentals and whatnot and homes for sale. And the interesting thing was, if you want to look further into it, once you see, Terry, in the course, do my keyword research method for homes for sale, then funny enough, I actually looked down into the Scottsdale area and pretty much Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we answered Ron's question. How much of the course is useful for non-local SEO? As I said, pretty much, I'd say pretty much all of it. Because as I said, I teach in principles so that you can understand it for any market in any niche.
Right.
As I said, one of the most interesting things, just on that note, Ron, is what you could do. For example, how competitive. I mean, everybody knows how competitive the weight loss industry is. Well, if you geo-target something like, I know, weight loss, Los Angeles, California, hey, how much competition would you expect for that? So you can literally take your and niche it down, take your like niche, and then sort of go drill it down to a particular region. So then you can target, do from a local SEO point of view, and get a ton of results just from one state. And then what you do then is create other websites for other states, and you can pretty much own your little slice of the weight loss industry, even though it's competitive right at the top.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, Bertram's left, but one of the questions he was asking was how many training videos are in total? Well, there's actually 8 modules, and there's obviously a couple of bonus modules, but some modules have 2, 3, sometimes even 4 videos. So we're obviously still putting some stuff in the back end. So as soon as that obviously goes live, you'll be able to see all the modules in there as well.
Yeah.
What else we got there? Do you teach mobile SEO? I don't personally, but Mark's going to be covering a lot of that in his module that he's going to be doing on mobile marketing.
Yeah, I will be.
Peter's asking something about Kevin McKillop, local SEO, local video method. Thinks it's complemented very well. I'm sure it would. Actually, one of the guys I just did a webinar with yesterday, he actually just launched it the other week, a video marketing course. And this, because a lot of guys know how to do the video marketing side of it, but they don't know how to SEO it properly. So a lot of guys are now finding, obviously, that's the reason why they're coming across to here, to find that what I'm doing from an SEO point of view, because there's been probably about 6 or 7 guys that have come out with video courses, and one of them was particularly using an iPhone 4 and an iPhone 4S to do their whole video marketing for the clients and producing some absolute ripper results. And as a result now, he goes, I can create the videos, I can create the killer videos, but now what do I do about traffic? And that's where they're coming to me on. Okay. Okay, lots of thank yous. Yeah, but I've actually found that do you have a method to keep clients on a recurring payment plan? The interesting thing is, over the last 10, 11 years, even 12 years, my average customer has pretty much stayed with me 8 to 9 years. So because I service them and pretty much keep them in the loop, say, hey, look, here's some opportunities that you may be looking for, and seriously, a lot of them just like, hey, we're happy with you, we don't want to move, because moving means obviously, you know, more cost to them. And when you're talking like a one-man operator business, once they're happy, they pretty much stay. So like my longest client was pretty much my second client. He came on board pretty much like just about 12 years ago now, and they've been with me ever since. And they've spent a heck of a lot of money with me. We actually developed a software. Funny enough, it's actually a video interviewing software. They're a high-end placement firm, so they do like executive search type things. And we actually developed a platform for them, and this is before any sort of video was like very popular. This is back in 2004, mind you. So before YouTube and before all the video marketing sites, we were doing WMV movies embedded in a little website there. So we were doing interviews with people, and they were recording them on a high-end webcam. Then we chop them up, and then we put a top and tail on there, like an intro and an outro. And then when the client logs in, they see the video responses to the questions that they were asking for the high-end job. And this thing was converting like crazy for them. So they were closing jobs like, you're talking like a $500,000 a year job. And so these guys were converting like crazy, and all the other guys going, how you doing it? How you doing it? And obviously that was their little secret weapon. We're doing video interviews. Hunter is left, but he's basically asking, not sure if you covered this, but do you have a recommended or hot local markets to get into? Hunter, in regards to that, I've given you some idea generators, as I said, some potential ones. I find the service-based industry pretty much works best because they need leads or customers or people coming through, like through traffic, in order to get the conversions happening. So say, for example, like plumbers, electricians, those types of guys, when you're getting onto the professional services, that's when it starts getting a little bit more competitive, particularly in the US. But in Australia, it's pretty much you got no competition. Now you got a bit, but not as much. There's a lot more people targeting the US. So yeah, but what if you do my keyword research? I actually show you and drill you down on a photography or photographer keyword, and I drill down to wedding photography, and I keep drilling down until I find a niche that has. Some of them had like 2,900 exact searches per month. So it just goes to show, and there's pretty much like no competing pages for it. So yeah, it sort of just goes to show, and obviously the methods work. And as I said, you can take that and find your own hot niches.
Yeah.
So as I said, we're pretty much, I guess, spoon feeding in some regards to say, like, and yeah, as I said, I've given you a lot of info there, but what we want to do is teach you how to do it yourself, so that you can think for yourself and drill down rather than sort of, yes, you can come to us for advice and whatnot, but what we're trying to do is keep you sustained and keep you doing it on your own and basically teaching you how to fish rather than giving you a fish.
Yeah.
Here's the sitemap included. Pete, I'm not too sure which sitemap you're referring to, but if it's the Google Video sitemap, no, it won't be. But there is another. There's actually a few different sitemaps. One of them is a geo-targeted sitemap, and the other one is a free just website sitemap. These are pretty much one of them is free plugin, one of them is just a bit of coding, some details you need to obviously fill out. Paul, do you use RSS Link Bomber? Well, hopefully Mark does. I haven't. I've only used it a little bit on one of my sites. I haven't sort of really focused on that because I've had a number of different projects going on at the stage. But pretty much all of his other products, I use Google Video Sitemap all the time. Pretty much part of I have a little folder with all my plugins that I use on like a daily, weekly, monthly basis for all clients. And Google Video Sitemap is pretty much one of the first ones I upload. That's pretty much there. The other one is one of Mark's is SEO Power, which I find I had other ones that I've used similar, but they just pretty much just like bogged down and started like corrupting the site, whereas this thing just works like gangbusters. And so I can show customers there, they log into their WordPress admin panel and they find all the stats in there and they just absolutely love it. The other one I'm using is the RSS, Mark's RSS feed, which I think is now obviously turned into his RSS link bomber. But I used the previous one, which I got some absolutely amazing results with as well. I use TubeFill on a daily basis. It pretty much is running in the background 24/7 for a bunch of. And no, it's not only for my channel. I also use it for clients' channels as well to get that up there as well. So yeah, so pretty much I'm a big advocate of Mark's products.
Yeah, great.
So
yeah,
hopefully he's paying me a good cut of the commissions of all the sales I'm getting in for his products. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, TubeFill, can I ask?
I think.
Gary said he already has them all.
Yeah, Gary's a great customer.
Terry's asking, who can you recommend to help rank a website? Okay, well, obviously, Terry, if you obviously get the course, you can pretty much do it yourself. Or even if you don't want to do it yourself, hey, you can even outsource the whole thing. Just pretty much give them the process maps. That'll pretty much show them exactly what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark, did you want to send a refresh email to the or maybe a link for the first video, the pre-launch video? Because a couple of guys asking there about the YouTube trick. I've had a few people ask me this now. How does Carl get such hot friends on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, the reason why I have those guys is because they were page ranked like 6 and 7 and 8. They actually, funny enough, I think they actually befriended me, so it must be I'm hot. But no, the reason why, because a lot of these guys, now here's the interesting thing, some of these guys have 0 videos uploaded, but they have a page rank 8 channel, and that got me thinking. I'm like, hang on a sec, there's more to it than meets the eye. And so I've seen channels like literally there's one video uploaded, and they have like 15,000 friends, obviously because they're putting some chick with loose clothing on or whatever the case is as their little video, as their thumbnail, and the thing obviously gets like 15,000 friends. So no doubt within my, because I mean when I do my TubeFill trick, obviously I'm adding people that sometimes I may not know, but I'm obviously getting people from within my internet marketing niche. So no doubt these guys have befriended someone that I've obviously grabbed, and no doubt they've either viewed my site or made some comments or whatever the case is. I've noticed as well that YouTube sort of fiddles around with the friends list. So some days some people will be up there and other days it won't. So obviously they're testing different things. So yeah, so that's pretty much how I get all the hot friends. So thanks to TubeFill, mate. So it's a cheek magnet.
Right on. Clifton says, how am I going to access Mark's bonus? I will send it out to you when it's ready. So I have everybody on the list here who's on the call. So I will have my support staff to reconcile the books to send that out to you if you make your purchase between now and another couple hours, midnight Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, there's a few people asking as well, Mark. Will this stay open, like the offer, as I will not have money for a couple of weeks? Now, are you doing a payment plan on this one?
I was thinking about offering a payment plan on it in the next couple of days.
Okay, sure.
I'm not really, I can tell you right now, I'm not very big on payment plans since it's not very, if it was like $1,000 course or $2,000 course, might be more reasonable.
Yeah, but 147, guys. I mean, it is, and that's the reason why I wanted to bring it out on the lower end scale rather than sort of charging you like, I mean, as I said, I've gotten paid up to like, $500 an hour. So a lot of the stuff that I'm sharing, as I said, has been 15 years in the making. So just sort of I'm sharing a lot with you, and to help you literally stop you spinning your wheels and finally get some traction happening, so you can actually make some bucks. And then I think Mark also mentioned in some of the pre-launch emails that there's certain people out there, other internet marketing gurus, charging $2,000 to $4,000 for getting free traffic to your website. And what I've pretty much even shown you in the pre-launch videos, I reckon that far outweighs the the $2,000 to $4,000 course showing you how to get free traffic.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see here that I was going to say, just to capitalize on that, when some people ask me for a payment plan on a $147 product, I've had people email me and saying, Mark, can I get a discount on your? I have people email me when the product is only $47 and they're asking for 50% off because they only have $20, and they say that then they say it's their last $20, and they need this product to make money online, and this is their last hope. And can I please get it for $20 instead of $47 or whatever? And I'll just simply say, look, if this is your last $20, you're spending it on me. I said, I don't want it. Go and get.
Actually, I've had the same thing.
Go get a real job, working somewhere on the street, and pay your bills, and come back and
I've actually had several emails come through with that, like because I've got some stuff on my website, and it's like for a coaching call. They wanted some sort of coaching call, and I said, okay, look, send me the types of sites that you've got so far, and it was like some obscene amount of competition. And like their ranking was just like page 527 they were on. For the term, it was like I think they were going after handbag.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going like, you're going after the term handbag? Oh yeah, we've got this like unbelievable idea. I mean, everyone's got the latest idea. And I'm sitting there and they're targeting a keyword. They're going, yeah, we're trying to target the keyword handbag. And I'm like, oh dear God. And this is my last, like you said, Mark, like this is my last, $50. I can't feed my kids this week, but can you give me a discount on your coaching session for half an hour or an hour, or can you push it out for an extra hour or so and give me all your juicy details? And I'm sitting there going like, your kids are going to be starving. I said, look, keep your money, seriously. I said, go spend it on your kids for a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Or at least go buy some food.
Yeah. Some people.
The other thing too is I've gotten so many comments over the last few months because I'm coming out of the underground, and they say that Ryan Dice looks like me.
Is that right?
Yeah.
They're both a little. I can see that a little bit. bit. I just wanted to close the webinar up. This bonus I'm going to be giving you is smoking hot. There will be a replay of this, and no, the bonus will not be available for people who listen to the replay. So I'll be sending this out to my list, and only people on this call are going to be getting the bonus of the Traffic Player mobile with mobile ability, and it'll be smoking hot. The pre-launch videos are still accessible. The pre-launch videos are in the members area. I put those up and go from there. Yeah. So I really recommend getting this. It's going to be great. I'm going to be spending a lot of time in the forum myself and getting everybody up and running. and answering all your
There's
questions.
actually just one last question here, Mark.
Yeah.
They obviously don't want a discount, which is good. But just to know whether the product will be still for sale in 2 weeks' time. Yes, it will be.
Yeah, it'll still be for sale. I'm not settled on the price to remain at 147. I know that, so that's just a heads up. Mario's
so
asked.
What are we looking to do to double it?
I haven't decided on that, but obviously it's growing, it's getting bigger. There's more interest, and I got some super affiliates that are going to be mailing on it and stuff like that. So, what's the recap of the webinar? Mario wants a recap of the webinar. What?
Oh, it might be a replay.
Oh, a replay. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I'll just cover the replay, what we covered in the actual thing. Let me just go back here. Okay, so yeah, so it's pretty much who's that? Mario. Pretty much what we covered tonight is a heck of a lot of stuff. So there's going to be a replay anyway, so you can go back and watch it again. So pretty much you found out a little bit about me, who I am, and why I'm coming out from the underground. As I said, I might even go back to the underground. But anyway, so why would you get involved in local SEO? As I said, I showed you some of the trends and what they're showing at the moment. The potential that's just in the market, just in a couple of keyword terms, and obviously I broke down the course in what's involved in each module. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah. The sales are still coming in, so thanks, Kenny, and the sales are still rolling in.
Got the one there. It says, if you're on Traffic Player, is the mobile included, or is this a separate product? I'm presuming it's a separate product. So if you're on Traffic Player, I'm presuming you're going to do some sort of special offer, I hope, for the guys that already own the Traffic Player.
Well, they'll be getting the mobile version, right? So.
Yeah. No, I'm saying is the people who already own Traffic Player, is there's like an upgrade cost for the mobile version?
Yeah, there will be an upgrade cost, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah. Gary saying, share the love and give my affiliate link.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, nice try, Gary.
and the Traffic Player that's coming out, it'll be it'll have Lightbox pop-ups, we'll have text link pop-ups that you can put in your sidebar and all kinds of cool stuff. So
yeah,
that's what's coming up. All right, the replay will be available. I'm going to blast that out to tomorrow for everybody. Yeah, there's a 30-day guarantee, money-back guarantee. So I'm still fascinated by that video. Have everybody seen that video of me, those cards with that happy music? I love that music. I heard that song on, I went to Audio Jungle and just listening for music, and I found that song. I said, oh, I love that song. Makes me happy. And so the purchase link, he's still looking for the purchase link. James, I'm going to give you the purchase link right here. This goes directly to the card. What's the name of the song? Let me see. I got it right here. The name of the song is
the video has given me a horrible earworm.
It's called "Live My Life."
Live
My Life.
Oh, dude, I think you need some help, Mark, to pick out some decent music. Hey, maybe we can get some of your kids' music on there.
Oh, Peter. Let's see.
The other thing as well is some of the clients that I get over the years, it's like, oh, seriously, they need some serious upgrade in their, listening ability, for music or video. Because some of them go, hey, we saw this Unreal website, or we saw this Unreal video, and you go there and it's like, oh my dear Lord. It's just like, okay, if that's what you consider good, then we're going to go a long way.
Yeah. Is anybody holding up their hand? Maybe somebody wants to talk here. I can obviously give you the mic if somebody has the mic. I don't see anybody holding up their hand. There's Rob. Bob, you got a mic? If you got a mic, Bob, you can probably talk right now. I can hear him in the background.
He might need to install his mic.
What's that?
He might have to install his mic.
Do you have a question, Bob? Okay, I guess not. So
Maybe just get him to type it into the actual box.
Yeah. Okay, Gary has his hand up. I'll highlight Gary here. Gary. No, is this the one with the jokes here?
Don't put him on there. Don't put him on there. He's got to give his affiliate link.
Okay, here. Hey, Gary.
Can you hear me?
You got a question, Gary?
Yeah, I actually, it's not so much a question, just the testimonial. I've used all your stuff, Mark, for, I don't know, since dominating video, and I love it. And I've done local SEO for businesses here in South Florida. I'm in Palm Beach County for about 18 months now. It's a niche I just decided to go with when I was trying to figure out what to do online, and I use all your products. I love it, and I signed up for the local SEO Crusher this morning on your recommendation, and I've been going through it, and it's great stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, we're just getting going here. It's going to be a great course.
So Gary, have you downloaded any of the process maps yet?
Yeah, and I had a little issue trying to find a couple of them because I watched the video and then it said it was supposed to be below the video. But
okay,
I'm
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I think we're just going to be uploading a couple now. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's great stuff. I like the idea of having the process maps because I've been trying. Actually, I'm a real estate broker, and back in 2006, when real estate died here in Florida and all over the rest of America, I became an internet person. I'm 56 years old now, but as a broker, I was doing gangbuster numbers and all of a sudden left with nothing, and I had to find something else to do because I'm not ready to retire. So I looked at the internet, and
great.
it's done a lot for me. In programs, there's only a few. And if you could see my email box and everything I get, all the junk you're talking about that people send out, and fortunately, after my first 8 months of buying all that crap, I realized what was crap and what wasn't, and stuck with the guys that know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like my video chasing that shiny little object, you know.
Oh, it's amazing.
Seriously,
once you're on somebody's list, it seems to go around.
Oh yeah.
You wind up on everybody's list, and I've learned to opt out of the ones that are just throwing out garbage, and you can recognize it just watching their 5 minutes of their presentation. Yeah. But Mark, I got all your stuff. I love it, and you're great. And Carl, from what I see, you really know your stuff, and I think this is going to be a great program for me to go through. It's certainly worth $147 for crying out loud.
Yeah, it's pretty much a steal compared to the $2,000 one that's just came out the other week.
Oh, you wouldn't believe some of the stuff I bought earlier.
Yeah. Oh, I've got literally hard drives full of crap, and it's just like the amount of money that I've spent, or wasted, I guess you could say, trying to chase that elusive dream of, like, as Mark says, the shiny object. Seriously. So I get so caught on. I said, no, that's it. I developed my own thing, and that's the reason why I wanted to come up with the process maps. So they go, okay, because I was one of those people that typically got lost on a lot of these courses, even though I'm savvy and also been online for so long. And I just wanted to make it so simple and easy that you could just, like, literally hand it to an outsourcer and pretty much follow along.
Well, see, that's my problem. I'm a great marketer and salesperson. Matter of fact, my background before real estate, I spent 15 years in radio and television advertising. That's why local marketing was my zero in, because I've always sold local advertising to marketing to local businesses, whether it was radio or television, before I became a real estate broker. And then obviously at 50 some odd years old, nobody wanted to hire me again. So when real estate died, I just decided, you know, the internet, I'll just start my own business. And I wound up in the local arena. But it's amazing how easy it is to talk to local businesses and show them what we can do for them locally on the computer.
Oh, yeah, that's it. One of the things that I do mention in one of the modules there is how are you going to solve their problem, like from your point of view, selling your services. Because one of the things I do is when I go in there, it's just like, okay, what problems do you have? What do you really struggle with? And like 10 times out of 10 it'd be like website, getting traffic to it. So what you typically, the pitch you always come in on is how can I solve your problem? And if I can show you a way that can alleviate the pain, we're ready to go ahead. And it's pretty much yes.
Yeah, you obviously have a lot of good sales background training. That's something that I've had in my background that I'd love to see somebody in the internet arena, especially in local SEO, come up with is a good sales training course. I was a sales manager for a television station for 10 years, and to teach people that process that you just spoke about is ideal for this industry.
Yeah. Well, it's also, I learned a lot of my stuff from the Dan Kennedys, like the Kennedys and all those types of guys. So it was pretty much a lot of my stuff in regards to sales. I mean, I had the sales training early on, like when I did like door-to-door selling karate memberships, and it was commission only. So if you don't make any sales, you don't eat. So that was certainly a good eye-opener for me. And I made some weeks I made, like, you know, back then it was just like, you know, a couple of grand per week, which was, you know, awesome as a kid because, like, you got no commitments and whatever, and so it was quite good. So, but a lot of the stuff that I do, even within the PPC realm, I actually picked up that quite easy because of my copywriting. Because I pretty much studied and pulled apart all of Dan Kennedy's stuff, Yannick Silver's stuff, and any other sort of guy that put out, one of the top guys that put out all the copywriting courses. Yeah. So I pretty much picked up all that. So it's like just sponged it all in, and that's the reason why I can typically do quite well at PPC for clients, is because of the copywriting background.
Yeah, you're obviously way ahead of me on the computer stuff. I mean, you've been doing this since '96. I've been commission-only sales for 36 years.
All right.
So I trained a lot of people how to do what we're talking about, going to local businesses. That's why I decided that was my niche. And every time I got an email and got involved in programs, I've even gone to live seminars on the internet and how to make money. And local seemed to be the way to go.
Yeah, that's good.
You're not afraid to ask for the business, eh?
Not at all.
Sounds good.
I got a lot of good clients. I got a matter of fact, I used some of your programs with them. I got a golf course here. I sold them a $7,000 program, $3,500 trade for a year's membership. So I play golf whenever I want.
Oh, cool.
That's good. Actually, there's another course that I've seen out there. It's called it's Barter Secrets. It's basically bartering stuff, and seriously, I looked at that and I'm like, oh man, that's gold. Like it's pretty much what you did. Just say, oh, okay, I'll barter you this for that, and then there's other things you can, like, it goes into the course of how you can actually buy stuff at a discount, and I'm sitting there going like these little loopholes that I typically come up with and go like, that's how I would think. And know that there's obviously a lot of people out there that think like I think as well. I go, how can I find a loophole here? And I typically go, that's how my mind works, because I'm a problem solver. So I'll typically go in and like look at a client's thing, and I'll typically look at it from a bird's eye point of view and go, oh, here's the issues here, and if you keep continuing this way, here's where you're going to end up, and if you don't, here's where you're going to end up over here. Or if you look,
I use the barter process as a way in a door sometimes. I got a sushi restaurant. I mean, I make them pay me half cash, and I let them trade half out. I eat sushi 3 times a week for free. I got a air conditioning guy put a brand new air conditioner in one of my rental properties. I traded it out. I do his website.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. As I said, there's tons of different ways to get clients. And as I said, if hopefully we're still recording, because a lot of people will be sitting and listening to this on the replay, and they go, oh, how do I get customers? And we're pretty much just general chit-chat, but we're literally giving away some absolute gold here in order to, if you're wondering how to even start in local.
Go to where you're interested. Tell them it's $5,000, but you'll take $2,500 in cash, $2,500 in trade. You got an account.
Yeah, and just remember, I just want to encourage you. I just want to encourage everybody how much some of these local businesses, how much cash they have. There's one, for example, there's one in town here. They're vein specialists. They help people with their veins, okay, with their in their legs and things like that, right? A couple of doctors, vein specialists. Their income, their annual income on their business is $3 million per year, helping people with their veins on their legs. Okay, and they have like 5 staff people, and they're bringing in $3 million a year. There's another doctor. He's a foot specialist. This guy's making it's just incredible. There's another person that I know. Well, actually, I'm dating my girlfriend. Her parents make religious jewelry. Okay, religious jewelry, and they're not religious either. They just make it, right? And but let me tell you, what a profitable business, and and they sell this stuff all over the world. And do they need a better website? Yes, they need a better website. And so it's just a couple ideas of just the potential out there and different niches and ideas. And it's just incredible.
The local drill down niches. Google one time in your marketplace sedation dentistry.
Oh yeah. What is it? Sedation
dentistry. They knock you out. They so you don't have to have Novocaine or whatever. They give you gas or whatever.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and a lot of people are so afraid of the dentist they don't want to be awake.
Oh yeah.
So sedation dentistry is a big one.
Huh? Yeah, I can see that.
That's the last tip for the day.
There's actually another good question on here. Max is asking, how do I gain credibility when you have none? One of the ways that you can look at doing some stuff, Max, is pretty much what we're saying. Is you can get your foot in the door a number of different ways. But one of the ways I showed you in the actual, I think, Module 1, do some keyword research, then obviously jump into the video marketing module. Then what you need to do from there is create a YouTube channel, get a video ranked for a particular business that you want to target, then go into the actual, actually have a business pre-picked out, or a number of different businesses. Say, for example, we go to the sedation dentist. There might be 3 in your area, or whatever local businesses there are. Then all you do then is, okay, I have got a video or a listing on page 1 of Google. Then all you need to do from there is say, do you want this now, or do I go to your competitor? And they're pretty quick smart on snapping that up, and they can rent that from you. So you pretty much need no credibility except that, because you've got a page 1 listing for a local business keyword term.
Yeah, it's a good strategy.
Hey, Mark, thank you for the time. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks.
And answer my questions. Like I said, I've used all your programs, and I'll continue to do so. And I enjoy working with local businesses, always have. That's why when I came out of the real estate market, I decided I had to get back into marketing and advertising, and the internet was the way to do it.
Great, thanks. Okay, everybody, we're going to wind it down here because there's a questions are still coming in, but
I think there's a couple of
I'm going to
techie
be
questions
emailing
here,
all the
which I think we'll
customers
answer.
on my other software tools tomorrow, and offering them stuff. So I'm getting questions on that.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, let's wind her up. I want to thank everybody. I know there's still 100 people on the call here. Thank you for the time. It's been a couple hours. Thank you, Carl, for your precious time.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
To thank you again. The recap, Michael, is go to localseocrusher.com, purchase. You have another till 12 midnight tonight Eastern Standard Time, and you will get the child player and also the mobile version that's coming out soon that has lots of different bells and whistles. So thank you, everybody.
Don't sign up tonight. Go to my affiliate link.
I told you, Mark. I told you to mute him.
That's right. Hey, yeah, I just did a Google for local SEO Crusher. I think there's like over 15,000 website listings already, so it's got some buzz. Thanks a lot, and I'll send out this recording tomorrow.
Oh,
Okay?
Mark, before we go,
yeah.
Aren't we going to do some giveaways as well for 3 people? Are we going to do that later?
Sure. You want to mention them right who they are?
We're just going to pick them randomly, aren't we?
Yeah. So I better email that. Matt was gonna do that for you. You know.
Pick me.
Yeah. Matt did that. Matt was actually visiting Brad Fallon's house today. He was there. He flew there and he just got back home.
Yeah. The price, James, is $147. So 147 is a one-off.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to look at the Facebook comments, and if we pick one of the names there, if you've already purchased, that's no problem. You'll get you'll get your money back, whatever. But Matt's already, and I'm not going to have anything to do with it. So that's my support person. Matt is going to do that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that way he pretty much doesn't know them, so he can pretty much
Right. Yeah.
won't be prejudiced against hey, I want to give it to this person sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would. Anyway, very good.
All right, thanks, guys, for your time. Thanks for staying on the call.
Yeah, thank you, Carl, and thank you, everybody. This is Mark Talise and Carl Vanderpool signing off. Have a good night and sleep well.
See you guys.